I'm very thankful to today's speaker, Amrita Kumari ma'am, for accepting invitation and being a chief guest and the guest of today's event. I'm also thankful to all the principals, faculties, and the students who are principals for encouraging the students to participate in this national level webinar. I welcome all the participants to this national level webinar. Dear students and dear participants, this is the 10th of its series national webinar on the various topics. Institute generally organize such kind of events for the students on the industry experts, on the entrepreneurships, women empowerments, and so many list. I'm thankful to all of you for being connected with our institute for various webinars. I hope that this would help you in development of your career. This webinar would also help you in to understand what are the opportunities in the armed forces for the pharmacist. So stay connected with this webinar and get good insight from this today's speaker. I'm again thankful to the speaker of today's webinar. I request ma'am to continue with your inputs. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. So I'm requesting to Amrita ma'am. So please continue with your session.
So kindly allow this share screen. No?
Yeah, just a minute. I will make you the host.
Okay. No, second one. Sir, please second one.
Yeah. Ma'am, on which name you have joined on a second?
Amrita Kumari, scientist C, DRDO, and principal.
Okay. Yeah, just give me a minute.
Yeah.
Okay. Is that fine?
Yes.
Yeah.
So my screen is visible?
Not visible yet now.
Is it visible now?
Yes, ma'am. Is it visible?
Okay. Yeah. So first of all, I would like to thank Kale sir and Dr. Chintamani sir for inviting me for this lecture. Actually, I was really willing to deliver this lecture, and with the motive of this, I conducted the national level webinar, but due to armed forces, some restrictions, we were not able to stream it on YouTube. So I am very thankful to sir that you gave this opportunity again to me, because lots of students in outside all over India are willing to attend this webinar. So I will move towards the topic. The current topic is role of pharmacist and the guidelines for the recruitment in Indian Armed Forces. So what we will cover in this topic. So the first thing is, what is the role of pharmacists in Indian Armed Forces? We must be aware of the roles of the civilians pharmacists. Just you have to go in the medical shop, you are dispensing the drugs as a pharmacist on a civilian. But the thing is totally different in Indian Armed Forces. We have lots of hospitals all over India, military hospitals. And in each hospital, there are lots of pharmacists working. And they have some different responsibility than a normal pharmacist. So in this PPT or in this lecture, I would which will help you to know what you have to do when you get recruited as a pharmacist in Indian Forces. Second thing, what you should do to get the recruitment done. So as on date, we will currently see what are the guidelines for the recruitment in Indian Armed Forces, what are the entry points, what are the joining process, and finally some special instruction to the candidates. So what is the role? Basically, before understanding the role, we have to understand the medical store in Indian Armed Forces. In Indian Armed Forces, your medical store is basically divided into two categories. One is your expendable medical stores, and second is your non-expendable medical stores. So what do we understand by the term expendable? The word or this term expendable means consumables, means the things which can be consumed and it can over. This you cannot keep it for the lifetime or for a particular duration. So in that category, the medicine, these are the medicines which are expendables. So what is the role here of a pharmacist? The first and foremost is the procurement of these medicines. The procurement is not as simple as that in a civil world, because being a government and organization coming under Ministry of Defense, the procurement is totally different because we are going to utilize the government fund. So the procurement will depend upon a local purchase and a depot supply. Local purchase means a particular hospital where you are being deployed. That hospital in a year gets some sanction of a budget. And based on that, the amount will be sanctioned to the medical store for the procurement of medicines. And then they can procure the medicines based on some government guidelines. And second is a depot supply. What is depot supply? In armed forces, there is an Armed Forces Medical Services Depot, which is a central agency who supplies medicines to all over India military hospitals. So from there, we will get the medicines. What we have to do, we have to send the list of medicines required for the year, and from there we will get the medicine. Now the second role and responsibility is dispensing and issuing of these medicines. You are not deployed in a hospital, so you will be getting lots of patients from outside as well as from the inpatients. So your responsibility is to dispense the medicine and with proper guidelines. Second, the important thing is estimation of fund and utilization. Just now I told you that we have the main function is the procurement of the medicine. So before procurement, what things we have to think? It is like you have to procure for a whole year. So before procurement, we have to make a proper estimation of the budget, which will be required for the procurement. So how you will do this thing? It is like in the army, it is called monthly maintenance figure, MMF. MMF is a term that in a month, how much medicines you are consuming or you are dispensing to the patient. Based on that, you will get the medicines list ready for the month, and then you will calculate it for the year, and based on that you will put your demands and put your budgets. Similarly, now you have procured all the medicine. You have to show proper utilization of those medicines. So estimation of the fund and its proper utilization depends in the hands of the pharmacist. Next is to keep the record. Record keeping is not a simple thing. It keeps lots of recording process happens in that thing. And the next is the inventory maintenance. Finally, in our field hospitals, when this situations of emergency occurs, so it is a pharmacist's role to prepare and maintain and update a disaster management. You have to maintain a disaster management kit which can be utilized in case of any emergency or in a case of disaster.
Ma'am,
So we
sorry
have
to disturb you in between. Sorry.
Yes.
But I will change your slides because we can see over here the first slide is presentable right now.
Is it not coming the next slide?
No, not yet.
Is it coming now?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, sure.
Okay. Thank you.
So this we have already discussed, expendable medical stores, and now we were moving towards a non-expendable medical store. So what is non-expendable? That just like we told that drugs or medicines, we consume it and it gets over. Similarly, the non-expendable are the things which are kept in your hospital for a longer duration. And in this category comes the equipments. So in our medical hospitals or in a military hospital, there are 3 types of medical equipments whose procurement is under the role of the pharmacist. So what are those medical equipments? Number 1 is non-electromedical. It is just a simple equipment such as your BP apparatus, and electromedical equipment which have some motherboard in that. For example, your ECG machine. Sophisticated medical equipment. The word sophisticated means this equipment is really very sophisticated. So you need a trained manpower to use this equipment. And such equipments can be CTC, your ultrasound machine, your color Doppler machine. So these are the 3 categories of equipments divided into the military hospital. So their procurement depends in the hands of pharmacists. So how we will procure it? Again, you cannot procure it by own choice. So some equipments are available with the depot. So you have to give the order to the depot. You have to make an order that we require, for example, ECG machine. So you have to send it to the depot. If the depot has that machine with them, they will supply that to you. Then a central supply. Central supply means this all Army Medical Corps comes under the office of DGFMS, Director General of Armed Forces Medical Services. Director General of Armed Forces Medical Services is also responsible for procurement of some of the sophisticated equipment which cost a lot, and they can centrally supply to the any hospitals, not civil hospitals, to the military hospitals. And lastly is the local purchase. If you're not getting from the depot, not from the central, then you can purchase those things from the hospital budget in case of local purchase. So these things, preparation of its BBQR, lots of documentation is required for the procurement, and all this data has to be done by the pharmacist. And then finally, you have procured the equipment. You have sent those equipment to different wards. Some, for example, ortho ward you have given, cardio ward you have sent this equipment. Now, on a particular year gap, the machines are not working properly. So that wards can come and complain to the medical store that please do the maintenance. So the maintenance of these non-expendable medical store also comes under the roles of pharmacists. So this is just, I have given you a basic introduction of what is the role of pharmacists in Indian Armed Forces. So we will move towards what are the guidelines for recruitment. So currently in Indian Army, we will focus basically in Indian Army because there are 2 options of joining Indian Army as a pharmacist. Number 1 is your direct entry as a Sepoy pharmacist. So we will be focusing on this topic only, direct entry as a Sepoy pharmacist. Why? Because for this, we require D Pharma or B Pharma qualified registered pharmacists. In the other case, which we can see, it is a second point, entry as a soldier nursing assistant. Although if you are D Pharma, you can come, but your D Pharmacy will not be given any validation in this case, second case. In this case, only we consider 10+2 with science stream, and they can just come in Indian Armed Forces like Army Medical Corps, and then they will give some common entrance examination, and based on the examination, they will select some trades. There are lots of trades in Army Medical Corps, for example, technician, X-ray, and pharma. So if a candidate now selects pharma trade here, so he will be deployed to Department of Pharmacy, AFMC, Pune. So once you select a pharma trade, you will be coming in our department, and we will be now teaching you diploma in pharmacy as well as pharmacist class 3 and class 2 courses, which is a mandatory course for Indian Armed Forces pharmacists to undergo. And then we will register you as a pharmacist, and then you will be posted to different units. So because I think today all the audience are a pharma degree holder or diploma holders, so we will focus on direct entry as a Sepoy pharmacist. There is no special recruitment of pharmacists in Indian Navy. So Indian Navy, that is the same criteria, 10+2 with science background, who can join as a sailor medical assistant. And in Indian Air Force, I'm very happy to share this thing, that earlier there was no direct recruitment of medical assistant pharmacists in Indian Air Force. They was just hiring as a medical assistant general duties. And then same thing which I told you, after service of 6 years, they will come to Department of Pharmacy, AFMC Pune, and then they will be giving diploma in pharmacy course, and then they become the pharmacist. But now in the recent advertisement, Indian Air Force has started direct recruitment as a medical assistant pharmacist, but the proper guideline of this is not yet released. So in meanwhile, we will be focusing on Indian Army only, whose recruitment is already under process since 2018 on. So what we have to see for direct entry as a Sepoy pharmacist. So this entry is done in the way of open rally, and the qualification should be of registered pharmacist with diploma or degree in pharmacy. So this is a website. If anyone is willing to see, this is the website which you can see on your screen, Join Indian Army. In this website, you get all the advertisement regarding the rally conducted for the recruitment process. We will be showing you the live demo also if it is possible over here. So the first process is the enrollment process. Enrollment process will be done on your Join Indian Army portal. And after the enrollment, you will be going for a open rally. And then after the rally, there will be a medical examination and then a common entrance test. After clearing all these tests, you will be enrolled as a Sepoy pharmacist. So what we should keep into our mind before approaching. So these are the list of documents which all the individuals should have with them. What is that? And with the 2 sets of attested copies. You can see in the screen, it is your photograph. You should have educational certificates, domicile certificate. Here I would like to mention that these rallies are conducted state-wise. It is not for all India open. Means it is not that it is if the rally is open and anywhere of Indian candidates can come and join the rally. No, it is a state-wise rally. ARO center is there. They will notify which states are applicable for the rally, and only those state candidates can go for the rally. For that purpose, you should have that domicile certificate of your state. Then your caste certificate, religion certificate, school character certificate, unmarried certificate, relationship certificate, NCC, and there are some affidavits and your account number with PAN card and Aadhaar card. So now what is the enrollment process? So first of all, you should fall in this criteria. Preparation means you want to be a Sepoy pharmacist. So please check. You should have these things. What is this? Your age should be between 19 to 25 years. If you are above 25 years, you cannot. Sorry, my slide is not visible or what?
Yes, ma'am.
It is visible or not?
Not, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am, it is not visible.
Share screen has been turned off.
Hello.
So share screen has been turned off.
Just a minute, ma'am. Yeah, I will make you a post again. Actually,
So do second one, please. No? So it is disabled only.
Ma'am,
Is it visible now?
yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
So visible.
ma'am, I have a doubt.
Yeah. Can we clear the doubt after the session?
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. First of all, yeah, because a girl candidate has spoken right now. So I would give one important announcement that the recruitment is not for the girl candidates. The recruitment is only for the male candidates. This was one of the biggest question every girl candidate was asking me. But sorry, I don't have this answer. Why? Because till now there is no recruitment for girl pharmacists. Meanwhile, in future, we can see if the government allows a girl candidate. So it will happen. But as on date, there is no vacancies for girl pharmacists as a Sepoy pharmacist. Only male candidates are eligible for the post. So we have seen these documents, what is required. And this is a criteria which everyone should follow. That is, your age should be 19 to 25 years of age. If you are above your age, you cannot participate in this rally or you cannot participate in this process. And your height should be 120 centimeter. It varies as per the state and union territories. And your chest should be of 77 plus minus 5 centimeter expansion. So now how you will apply for the rally. So first of all, you have to visit this Join Indian Army website. Is the website visible?
No, ma'am.
Website picture is not visible. Is it visible now?
Yes, ma'am.
So it is. This is the website of Join Indian Army. So here you can see JCO's enrollment process. Here JCO's enrollment OR entry it is showing. So here you will click on view all. So you can see here there is a rally vacancy over here. Army recruitment rally of Sepoy Pharma for Punjab, Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh Union Territory. It was conducted between 16 to 30 September 2021. So what you have to do, you have to apply online. So here is the apply online. So you have to do the registration.
Sorry to disturb, ma'am.
The
Just a
registration
minute.
portal.
I request to other participants, please be on mute. Modern College of Pharmacy. Please pay attention.
So this is the
Please be on.
website. When you will go for registration, you have to continue and you have to fill your personal details over here. Okay, and then after filling up the details, you will get your registration done. So after this registration process, all the document whatever you have uploaded, it will be verified by the medical officers or different officers who are working under this process, and then you will get a admit card. After the admit card, you will on your admit card it will be mentioning your date of a rally. So now you have to participate in a rally. So what you will do in a rally, what will happen in a rally? So when you get the admit card, everything will be verified while you are going to the rally. So after that, the candidate has to undergo physical fitness test. The first test is the candidate has to run for 1.6 kilometer run. And how you will say whether one is qualified or not. So if a candidate runs between 5 minutes to 60 seconds, means he completes his 1.6 kilometer run in the range of 5 minutes 30 seconds, he will be awarded 60 marks. Or else 5 minutes 45 seconds, he will be awarded 48 marks. Those who are not able to complete by 5 minutes 45 seconds, those candidates will be rejected. So after qualifying this step, we will move toward the second, which is your beam pull-ups. For this, those candidates with 10 pull-ups, they can do 10 pull-ups, they will be awarded 40 marks, 9 pull-ups, 33 marks, 8 pull-ups, 27, 7, 21, and 6, 16. So those who are not able to do this 6 pull-ups, they will be disqualified. Third is a zigzag balance. You can see on the screen, this is a balance. Here you have to maintain your balance, and all the individuals have to qualify this zigzag balance. Then a 9 feet ditch. A ditch will be done with a 9 feet of distance, and individual has to cross this ditch while running. After run, you have to cross this ditch. It is a mandatory thing to qualify the physical test. So, although if candidates from the hilly terrains are joined over here, then they will get some extra times based on the hilly regions. For example, those who are residing above 5,000 feet to 9,000 feet, they will get extra 30 seconds for their 1.6 kilometer run. And between 9,000 to 12,000 feet, they will get extra 120 seconds. So after you qualify this physical test, now the candidate will be sent for the medical examination. So the candidate should be medically fit. In case of weight, his weight should be proportionate to the height, and his BMI should be in the range of 21 to 23. Those with higher BMI or lower BMI will be disqualified in the medical. After this basic test, the individual is now prone to these 8 tests. What are these? These are knock-knee test, flat foot test, eye test, ear test, finger test, nose test, palm test, and dental test. So we will see what is this knock-knee test. So basically, this is your normal posture. When you stand straight, there should be a little gap between your knees, little gap. If your both knees are touching together without any gap, this is called knock-knee, and you will be disqualified for this. And this is called bow legs. If the knees are very apart from each other, so this is called bow legs, then this type of candidates are also disqualified. So for being accepted, your knees should be normal in this posture. Okay. The second test is your flat foot test. Flat foot test you can do at your home also. Just wet your feet and see your impression on the ground. So if you get such type of impression, this type of impression if you are getting, then it means that you have a flat foot. And if you get this impression, which shows there is a curve between this, so this is called your normal or medial arc impression, and it is accepted. And if there is no curve, means there is a breakage in the curve, so it is higher, so this is also rejected. So for acceptance, this should be your normal impression of your feet. Now, what are the visual standards? So for visual standards, you should have 6x6 eye in each eye, correctable up to 6x9. And you after your color vision check, your color vision should be of CP3. Now, what is this? You have to, from 1.5 meters, you have to check the Ishihara book is there. You have to read the words printed on this. For example, if anyone can read it out, anyone can tell me what is written on this?
2.
Correct. So those who are not able to recognize what is written on this, so you are colorblind. Sorry to say, you have a colorblind issues. So let us see what is this now.
6.
Correct. And this one.
29.
99. So those who are not able to read this thing, so you think you are disqualified for the CP3 test. Now, ear test. How they will candidates are judged for the ear test. So in this test, forced whisper is done. For example, you will be kept in a room, soundproof room, and one candidate will be away from you at a 610 centimeters of distance. On one of your ears, cardboard or some disturbance type will be created so that one of ears gets some disturbance, and a person with 610 centimeter distance will whisper, not speak. He will whisper in a very low voice, like 2, 1. It will be very in whispering mode. So if you have to answer his whispers, if you are judging the whispers correctly, you are passing the ear test. And if you are not judging the whispers, so you will fail the test. Okay. Now the finger test. They will basically see whether your fingers are particularly with no no abnormalities, or anatomy of your fingers are perfect. For example, you can see here the finger is this 2 fingers are okay, but this edge is coming out. So he will be given a temporary rejection. Similarly, you can see this is temporary rejection case where your one of the fingers deviate like this thing. So if any individual is having such type of deformities in the fingers, the individual will be rejected for the medical test. Then there is a nose test, which is called DNS test, deviated nasal sternum test. So what is this? You can see here, there is a cavity. This is the same person. This person has done the surgery. You can see. So you can see from his protrusion, his nasal cavity has ejected from this side. Here you can see his hole is clear, but there is one projection, deformity is there. So if a candidate have such deformities, he will be rejected. So the image should be like this. Your nose should be like this. Your air passage should be free from any objectional things. Now is a palm test for hyperhidrosis. What happens as a normal human being? There are some individuals who, if they do any little work, their palms start sweating. So any individual whose palm sweats a lot, they are disqualified for this. This is called palm test for hyperhidrosis. Means you are having lots of water, or you can say there's secretions, lots of secretion on your hands, sweating in your hands. So if lots of sweat is coming in your hands, so you will be disqualified. So what we should, there are some important things, what other things we should know, that individuals should not have any disease like deformities of bones, hydrocele or varicoceles or piles. The corneal surgery is not acceptable. The individual should have sufficient number of natural and healthy gums and teeth, that is minimum of 14 dental points. The ear should be your wax free, and after the consent from the physical fitness and the medical fitness, then only the next process, that is your common entrance examination, will be scheduled. So what happens if the candidate is fit? He will be given admit card for the written test. But what if the candidate is unfit? It is not like that. If once you come unfit in this, directly you will be disqualified. Once the candidate is unfit, he will be referred to the nearest military hospital, command hospital, and base hospital for the specialist review. And based on the specialist reference, if the specialist tells you that no, you are unfit, and if they send the report to the ARO, then only the individual will be unfit. But if the specialist in the report mentioned that you are fit, then you will get the admit card, and now you can proceed for the common entrance examination. So this is your last step. This is your common entrance. After you are physically fit, medically fit, now you should be mentally fit. In the case of entrance test, you should have that knowledge of pharmacy. So once you qualify this thing, you will get your admit card, and on that admit card you will find your date and venue where you have to go for the entrance. So what is the pattern of the examination? The pattern basically consists of part 1. There will be 2 papers, part 1 and part 2. The part 1 paper will consider, the subjects will be of general knowledge and English. In general knowledge, you will have 25 questions, and it will be of 50 marks, means 2 marks for each question. And English will have 25 questions with of 50 marks. And the part 2 will consist of 2 papers. Again, it will be pharmacy 1 and pharmacy 2. In pharmacy 1, you will have 30 questions of 60 marks, and pharmacy 2, you will have 20 questions of 40 marks. Means for passing the examination, you should get 100 marks. It is not like that you are grading excellent in part 1 and or below in part 2 you will qualify. No. Or excellent in part 2 and below in part 1 you will qualify. No. For qualifying the CE, you should get minimum 40 marks in your part 1 paper and minimum 60 marks in your part 2 paper. So you should be like overall. You should not focus like नहीं चलो भाई pharmacy पढ़ते हैं, pharmacy पढ़ने के बाद हमारा general knowledge और English हम manage कर लेंगे. No, you should have to qualify all these part 1 and part 2 paper to get enrolled as a pharmacist. So what will be the syllabus for this? For English, general knowledge is your general knowledge. There's no syllabus for that. For English, you have to study the comprehension part of the speech, verbs, tenses, sentence structures. and types of sentences and other relevant areas. Whereas in pharmacy 1, what are the subjects which we cover in pharmacy 1? The subjects cover are pharmacology, pharmaceutics, and hospital and clinical pharmacy. So these 3 are very important subjects because 30 questions will be asked from these subjects. Then second is your pharmacognosy, pharmaceutical jurisprudence, community pharmacy, drugstore and inventory management, human anatomy and physiology, biochemistry and clinical pathology. Now from this you will be asked 20 questions. So you have to clear these both the papers, and there will be negative marking for your examinations. And once examination is done, you will not be sent any separate letter that you have qualified the examination. It is your responsibility to check the official website of Join Indian Army to see the results. The results will be declared on that website, and depending on that, if you qualify the entrance, you have to report to the ARO for the documentation. So this we have already discussed, that entry as a soldier nursing assistant, which I told you, this is not for the pharma person. It is just those who are 10+2 and want to become a pharmacist in Indian Armed Forces. So they can also join. So there are some special instructions that we have mentioned, that there is an appendix B and C there, and that you will have an affidavit. So you have to fill that affidavit, and the affidavit should have your full postal address with your full post office, police station, pin code, and everything should be mentioned on that. During the recruitment rally, you should bring your Aadhaar card and PAN card, and individual has to submit the affidavit, which is mentioned in appendix E and D and E of your advertisement. The advertisement will give you appendix D and E, and based on that you have to make an affidavit, and then only the individual who don't have these affidavit, they will not be allowed for the recruitment rally. So, and no mobile phones are permitted at the rally site. The candidates will not be allowed until unless you have the admit card in duplicate generated from your official website. And second thing I would like to mention here, that recruitment in Indian Army is a free service. There will be some agencies who will be telling you कि भाई मुझे 50 लाख रुपए दे दो, मैं तुमको आर्मी में recruit कर दूंगा. So don't get trapped in such things, because for recruitment there is no money charge, and no one can guarantee you कि भाई पैसे दे दो मैं तुम्हारा आर्मी में लगवा दूंगा. This is not possible. So be aware with such things. So, and second thing, the first thing which I already mentioned in my presentation, before applying, please go through the criteria, that your age, your education criteria are as per the norms for participating in the rallies. If anyone is found taking bribe or producing some bogus or fake certificates or involving in any unfair means, then it will be punished as per the criminal offense. So be aware of such things. Second, when you are coming for the rally, there will be no compensation given for any death, injury, or loss, or any travel allowances to the candidates, because this rally is entirely voluntary. It is your choice. So there is no compensation for any kind of loss. You should not use any kind of performance enhancing drugs, in strictly banned, because if a candidate found with such drugs, because you are going through a medical examination, if candidate found through such drugs, using such drugs, he will be booked under a criminal offense. The individuals should not have tattoos on their bodies. Only the tribal tattoos are allowed for some tribes for which they keep the tattoos. Otherwise, no fancy tattoos, no tattoos are allowed at all. So, and as a guide, I will tell you or advise you that before going or before applying to this rallies, if you yourself on your own interest go for a medical, you check it out whether, I have told you all these points, you check it out whether you fit in all these criteria or not. Otherwise you are wasting your time, and then you will be demoralized that why I was not selected. So before going for this rally, kindly go for a prior medical check. So, and last thing, the candidate may have to be present themselves at the rally site for 3 to 4 days. Hence, the stay arrangement has to be done appropriately. So here we will end the session. Thank you so much. If now anyone is having any query, they can please tell me. No?
Ma'am, just you say the common interest test is divided into two parts. But ma'am, as you know, the first year pharmacy subjects are now changed. Uh, the paper pattern is remaining older or new.
See, currently the pharmacy papers are same in the Indian Army. As the syllabus has been changed, the same will be intimated to the ministry and the same amendments will be done. But as on date, if a current rally is going on, the current rally will be going as per the previous pattern. Because you will be eligible for 2022.
Okay, ma'am. Okay, ma'am.
Anyone else?
First participant.
Ma'am, I have one doubt.
Hello, yeah.
Ma'am, I want to ask that is any BPharm course available in AFMC for girls candidate?
No. I have told you earlier also that there is no, first of all, there is no BPharm, and either a BPharm or whatever higher education will be there. It is not for the girls candidates and not for the civilians also. The candidates who are coming here for the courses are already serving soldiers.
Okay, ma'am. And one more question. In drugstore of military hospital, there are pharmacies. Then recruitment of that done on what basis, ma'am?
I've told you, the recruitment, this is all which we have told you is the recruitment of the Sipahi pharmacist only, no? The whole presentation was for the recruitment, how the recruitment as a pharmacist in Indian Armed Forces is being done.
No, ma'am. I want to ask that in military hospitals, there are some girls working as pharmacists in
Okay.
dispensing units. Then recruitment for that on what
No,
basis?
that is not, I will say it is not a military hospital organization, it is ECHS. This is other
Okay.
ECHS polyclinics. That is for the ex-servicemen, and for that it is just a normal process, just a normal pharmacist vacancy which comes for the civil law, for any other, for example, railways or any other candidates, job opportunities. It is similar to that. Any girls candidate can apply, but it is for ECHS, not for your military hospitals.
Okay, ma'am. Then their notification.
No, that will come on your ECHS website. ECHS have their separate website.
Okay, ma'am. Okay. Thank you.
Anyone else?
Okay. Anyone have any questions or any queries? So you can raise with the ma'am.
Is there anyone else who want to ask any question?
Okay. So it's the last but not least. I am requesting to the Rupali Shinde ma'am from RGSPM Institute of
So
Pharmacy.
your voice is not coming.
Am I audible?
Yeah, yes, sir. Thank you, Amrita ma'am, first of all, to give us this such a good information to us. And you have to give the brief information about the role of the pharmacies and also the guidelines for their recruitment in an Indian armed force or student. It will be get the valuable information regarding how to apply and prepare for physical and medical tests for that Indian armed force. Also documentation which is required for these courses, this recruitment, and what should be the does and what should it doesn't. It will be get very briefly in the knowledge of about this. So thank you, ma'am, for sharing your valuable time with us. Thank you, all the participants also, which is participated in this event. So thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
I request to all the participants, so please start your videos for just a minute so we can take some snap. The feedback link for this today's session is shared on the chat box. Everyone should be requested to give your valuable feedback so we can make a, it will be a beneficial for our all the learners.
Shall I leave, sir?
Just a minute, ma'am.
Shall I leave, sir? From class? Done. Feedback link म्हणून पाठवू.
If done, we can conclude the meeting. Kale sir.
Yes, sir. Just a minute. I'm just sharing here.
माझ्या ग्रुपवर येऊ शकतो.
I just want to share the appreciation certificate to a ma'am. So just a minute. I will share it. Okay. So thank you so much, ma'am, for your valuable time and the sharing your experience as well as valuable information with us. I request to all the participants. The meeting is concluded. You can leave the meeting. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
या ग्रुपवर मला फोटो पाठवून ठेवू.